Hello and welcome. This is Rufelmonger, and I'm going to be going over the Kensei class in For Honor. I'm just going to be going over some of their basic moves, the Unblockable attack, which is one of the core moves of the class, as you can see here, and some of their special properties, especially from the guard break, and some other bits and pieces. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, now just to go over the basic attacks. So the Kensei has 4 strings. It's quite simple. They are light attack, light attack, light attack. Light attack, heavy attack. Light attack, heavy attack, heavy attack. And finally, 3 heavy attacks in a row. So now onto the more unique moves. First up, which is the Helm Splitter, which you do off a forward dash into light attack. Now, as you may notice here, the guard just switched up. That is because the Helm Splitter attack is always a top guard attack, no matter what you do. As you can see once again. Now the guard is rested on top. It is very quick, and in itself it kind of leads to the 50-50 as our next attack is the Dashing Guard Break. As you can see there. Now this attack is quite rare within the game. The only other class in the game as it stands in the beta. In the release build, the other 3 classes might have this as well, but I'm not sure. But as it stands, only the Raider has this as well as the Kensei. It's quite a big deal, so you can now go for the Helm Splitter, as you can see here, the top attack, and say they choose to dodge to the sides to avoid it. Well, the guard break has perfect tracking, so if they manage to dodge out, then you will have a guard break on your hands. And as for the follow-ups after the guard breaks, I will go over that in a little more detail in a little bit. Now, as for the next moves, either side dash, you can perform a light attack. Now, just like the Helm Splitter, as you can see here, we're going to dodge to the left and attack. Now you see the guard has changed to the right, and now if we dodge to the right, the guard has changed to the left. So these have fixed angles that you yourself have no control over. So if you are fighting, keep this in mind, and if you're fighting against the Kensei, also keep this in mind, as they will always follow the fixed angles of attack. Now, as for the last basic attack, it is a zone attack, which is light and heavy together. Now, as you can see here, there's a flash as they start up. So this means the attack has armor. So once this move starts, you cannot just hit them with a light attack to end it. The attack will complete unless you are killed in the attack that hits. Now we're just going to go to the next section here. We're going to go into the Unblockable in greater detail. Alright, so next up we're going to be discussing the Unblockable attack. It's sort of the reason for being for the class, it's the defining move of the class, and while it is a bit of a one-trick pony, it's one hell of a trick. So to reach the Unblockable attack, what you must do here is it must be the top heavy attack of any string, the final hit. So any 3 hits will, or rather any third hit of any string will bring you here, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be off a basic attack like that. So for example, the guard break counts as the first hit of a string. So if we go guard break, light attack, into heavy, that counts. Conversely, say we do guard break into the pommel, that will also count as the second hit for the string to continue. Finally, say we do the side attack. Side attack, light, and there we have it. So one of the things about this, as you can see, it's a giant flaming death ball, and it's very obvious to see. The opponent can easily dodge side to side on this one. It doesn't take much. So what we can do after that is it's cancelable. So you can either cancel it into a side light attack, or you can cancel it into a side heavy attack. And as you saw there, I'll do it one more time. That little flash there on the side heavy means the attack is armored. So what the purpose of this is one of the other ways to get out of this, besides just dodging to the side or dodging backwards like this, is that you can just tap them out of it. For quicker characters, especially like our friend here, Isaac the Peacekeeper bot, they can just tap you out of it. No fuss, no muss, because this move takes quite a while to get going. So if that is their plan, a side armored attack will blow through it and hit them. The only reliable way for someone to get out of this, for either mix-up, is to dash backwards, which hopefully you're going to try to work them towards the wall to take away this advantage from them. And also one thing to keep in mind, for either the basic attack, as you can see here, we can feint it as well. We can feint the side attack as well. It takes quite a bit of stamina, as you've just seen, but it is an option to keep in mind, especially against better players who start picking up on your tricks. The reward is very high, and the risk is mostly minimal, as just a stamina investment. So keep this in mind and use it wisely, and it should help you out. Now on to the next section. Alright, next up, I did want to mention how the guard break works for the Kensei. Now, the basic guard break is the same as any other class in the game, and you can move them around any direction you choose, forward, backwards, just like any other class in the game. But what happens is their follow-up is a bit unique. As you can see here, it hits them with the pommel of the sword, and it inflicts the blind status. Now, the blind status, what it is, it puts a obfuscation effect on their screen, as it makes it quite difficult to see. And your indicators, as you attack, are removed from sight from them. They will not be able to see what attacks you are making with the indicator. They'll have to manually make it out. Also, one other thing to note, with the guard break with the Kensei class, is you will receive a free top-heavy attack with it. And once again, that top-heavy attack, as long with the guard break, counts as the first 2 hits of your string, so you can go right into the Unblockable. And finally, just 2 quick little tidbits I want to add at the end of this. First one is a bit remiss in not mentioning at the start, but any third heavy attack in string that is not the top attack, Unblockable attack, as you see here, there is a flash. And that means this attack also has armor and cannot be stopped by being hit. It's quite useful and always an alternative to the Unblockable attack. And lastly, and I'll splice this in real quick, the parry attack, the parry defensive move, you will always be able to get a top light attack off a parry, no matter what. So it can turn your defensive option into a great offensive option. And with that, that's kind of everything about the Kensei. It's not the most difficult class in the game, but it is one of the more rewarding ones, and it's very simple but very fun. It's kind of like Ryu in Street Fighter. He's got a little bit of everything. He's not the strongest in everything, but he's got a little bit of it, and he's fun to play. Anyways, go out and fight for honor.